Return of Swamp Thing, released in 1989, directed by Jim Wynorski. The story of the film is you have Anton Arcane. He is back from the dead, and he has began a genetic splicing experiment, which is where subjects have a human body, but they have some kind of animal or insect-like head, and it's pretty creepy. I mean, the makeup work is really good in this film, but it's creepy. You know, they make sounds like animals. They don't resemble humans at all. So apparently this genetic splicing experiment is not as perfect as Anton thinks it is. And he's doing these experiments because he wants immortality. He wants what Swamp Thing has. He just hasn't gotten that. Also in this movie, his stepdaughter, Abigail Arcane, comes to town, which complicates things. We have a conflict of interest. Arcane has questions about her mother, and Anton states that her mother was a free participant. She participated freely in the experiments. Something happens, and that's how she died. But he can't trust Anton Arcane. So Abigail, she discovers her father's work. She discovers what he has done, and she decides that being in the Arcane Mansion is not for her. So she escapes. Anton Arcane sends his goon squad after her. She ends up in the woods where she is confronted by two boys. They try to attack her, but then Swamp Thing comes to the rescue. First, she's terrified of Swamp Thing, but after Swamp Thing tells her a story and warns her of Arcane, she starts to align herself with Swamp Thing in a romantic way, which was kind of a little bit weird. So we kind of have this triangular plot going on. We got Swamp Thing, he's trying to finish off Arcane, and then we got Abigail Arcane having a love interest angle with Swamp Thing, and she's also finding out the answers to her questions about her father. So we got a triangular plot here. Now, as far as my thoughts on this movie, I think it's better than the first. The movie, it feels bigger. It feels livelier. You know, Swamp Thing, he talks more. He's got personality. You know, they're trying to make him a little bit more kid-friendly, like a Batman or a Superman. You know, they're promoting his TV series coming up. The movie takes place at night. There's a lot of nighttime scenes, a lot of rain, which makes the movie a little bit darker, maybe a little bit scarier. They kept some aspects of the first film, but they brought in new, interesting dynamics to the second film. So Return of Swamp Thing, I thought it was a pretty good follow-up to the first, a 10 out of 10. I recommend you all to check it out. Might not be everyone's cup of tea, might not be a horror film classic, but it might be a cult classic to some people. So check out Return of the Swamp Thing.